You know, when a giant tech company grows by buying up other companies, it's a huge sign of success, right? But for you, the customer, that success can feel, well, kind of chaotic. All of a sudden, what you thought was one company becomes this maze of different products, and every single one has its own front door with its own set of keys. Today, we're going to unpack how one of the biggest names in tech is solving this massive identity puzzle. So let's get specific. When you think of a company like Salesforce, you don't just think of one thing. It's this whole suite of powerful tools. You've got MuleSoft to connect your apps, Tableau to see your data in new ways, Datorama to make sense of your marketing. The big challenge, as you can see here, is that each of these amazing tools often has its own separate login. The problem then becomes, how do you give people secure, totally seamless access across this entire powerful ecosystem? I mean, it's a frustratingly common feeling, isn't it? You know you're dealing with one company, but your password manager is telling you a completely different story. And look, this isn't just some minor annoyance. It's a fundamental break in the entire customer experience. Right, so this isn't just about a user being annoyed. For the business, this is a massive strategic challenge. We're calling it the billion-dollar login problem. And trust me, it affects everything from security all the way to how fast they can innovate. The ripple effects from this kind of fragmentation are just huge. Every new company they buy becomes this slow, expensive puzzle to integrate. Your security risks, they just balloon with every new identity system you add to the pile. The company ends up with this shattered view of its own customers, which leads to really inconsistent support. But here's the real kicker. It slams the brakes on innovation and personalization. Because how can you build a relationship with a customer you can't even see as one whole person? And this slide, wow, this really drives home just how big this challenge is. We're not talking about small niche products here. Look at this list. You've got Commerce Cloud, Heroku, Tableau on-prem. These are major platforms that are still on the long road to being fully integrated. This isn't just a few systems. It's a seriously complex web of technologies that all need to be brought under one roof. So, how in the world do you tackle a problem of this size? You don't just put a Band-Aid on it. You have to architect a permanent solution. And that's where the gold standard comes in, a unified blueprint designed to solve this identity puzzle once and for all. At the very heart of the solution is something called Trailblazer ID, or TBID for short. The absolute best way to think about it is like a universal digital passport. It's the one single unified identity that gives a user one set of keys to unlock every single door in the entire Salesforce ecosystem. But a passport is only as good as the government that issues it, right? Well, that's where Cloud Atlas comes in. Just think of it as the master address book for the whole company. It has two really important parts. GDOU, the global directory of users, which basically says, yep, this is who you are, and GDOT, the global directory of tenants, which knows all the organizations you belong to. It is the single source of truth for every identity. Okay, I know, all this technical jargon can be a little much, but this table breaks it down beautifully. That global identity record, that's just your user profile. Cloud Atlas, that's the master address book we were just talking about. And the standard APIs, they're basically like super secure messengers that let each product safely update that central address book. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's built to scale. Of course, rolling out a new standard across a company this massive isn't as simple as flipping a switch. I mean, this is the real world, which means you have to deal with both standard integrations and some necessary custom exceptions, especially for products that weren't born in the cloud. And this slide shows you those two different paths. For a standard cloud product, the data can just flow directly from the acquired company into that central directory. Easy enough. But for on-premise products like Tableau Server, stuff that's installed behind a customer's own firewall, a direct connection just isn't going to work for security and technical reasons. So in those cases, they need an intermediate layer with a whole dedicated team managing the data sync. It's a really clever, practical solution to a super complex architectural challenge. So what's the actual path to get to this gold standard? This slide lays it out perfectly. For any product, whether it's standard or a custom job, there's a clear journey. It all starts with implementing a modern authentication protocol like OIDC, and then connecting it or federating it with Trailblazer ID. After that, it's all about syncing the organization and user data into that central Cloud Atlas system. This approach turns a truly monumental task into a series of clear, manageable steps. Okay, having a great architecture is one thing, but actually executing it, that's a whole other ballgame. This next part is all about the incredible human effort and cross-team coordination it takes to bring this unified vision to life across a global company. Just take a look at this Gantt chart. This gives you a peek into the complexity of just one integration, Marketing Cloud. You've got multiple teams, help and training, the Trailblazer ID team, quality assurance, all working at the same time, but with critical dependencies on each other. A delay in one spot can create a domino effect across the entire project. This is what cross-matrix delivery really looks like in the trenches. And this quote from a real project meeting, it just brings the human element right into focus, doesn't it? These aren't just boxes on a timeline. They represent the work of real people. And real-world challenges, like key team members leaving or delays in getting new partners up to speed, have a direct, tangible impact on these ambitious programs. It's a constant, complex balancing act. So after all this architectural heavy lifting, all this process standardization, and all this intense human coordination, what's the ultimate payoff? It's not just a prettier login screen. It's about unlocking a completely new future for customer support, a future that is agentic. But first, let's quickly recap the immediate business value. The company starts seeing value from acquisitions way faster. Integration and maintenance costs drop like a rock. The customer gets a consistent, secure experience no matter what product they're using. And maybe most importantly, all this hard work builds the foundation for everything that's coming next. Now, this slide shows you the before picture, the current state of AI support. It's helpful, don't get me wrong. It can ask for some basic info and create a support case for you. But it's what we call a workflow agent. It doesn't have a deep understanding of who you are or what products you actually own, so its ability to truly solve your problem is pretty limited. And this quote really captures the whole vision perfectly. The goal isn't just to have simple, transactional experiences anymore. It's to shift to a whole new paradigm that's built on relationships, where the system understands you on a much, much deeper level. And this is where the KYC, or Know Your Customer, initiative comes into play. This is a brand new service built right on top of that unified identity foundation we've been talking about this whole time. And it has one single goal: to give the AI agent a complete, real-time understanding of the customer it's talking to. So, what does this actually mean for you, the customer? Well, with KYC, the AI agent knows every single product you use, it understands your specific support plan, it can proactively figure out what you need help with, and, if it has to, hand you off to a human agent with all the context they need to help you instantly. This is the leap from a simple workflow agent to a true problem-solving partner. And that brings us to a final, really powerful question. When an AI support system has a complete 360-degree view of you, your identity, your products, your history, the very definition of customer support gets totally transformed. What does it even mean when support is no longer just reactive, but proactive, personalized, and truly built on a relationship?